Hey Morgan,
Hey, Lexus.
welcome to this week's session of Switching the Narrative with us as your most unqualified therapist. Today, we're going to talk about everything friendships.
Yeah, but before we get into our topic, we thought we'd do a little happy hour and just share the highlights of our week. So, Lexus, let's hear it. What have you got going on?
Oh boy. Well, if just a little recap, we are doing a complete redo of our previous episode because we just feel like we can do a little bit better. So a lot has happened. I don't even know where to start, but I did, if anyone doesn't know, me and my previous therapist broke up, but I got a new one and I'm happy that I met my new one. It's going pretty good. I had like the longest weekend of my life. I just had a lot of little moments, so many different highlights, so it's hard to just narrow it down to one. Um, but I guess something small that was like really nice I could talk about was I had a lunch with my best friend Vinny and his little sister recently, and I cannot believe like it's so weird to see like young kids grow up and become like teenagers and then adults around me. So we just had lunch with her and it was really cute, and we gave her like high school advice, and it was just so weird. I remember being her age asking like my aunt and her friends for advice, so it was just nice to be able to finally be in that position to do that. What about you?
Right. Well, speaking of long weeks, I'm sure most of our listeners know it was a long, stressful one over here, but we recovered we're just like kind of getting back to the our normal situation, as normal as it can be. For those who might be listening that don't know, I live in Germany, and Western Germany had suffered a really bad flood, and we kind of got a little bit of that just because our backyard faces one of the rivers, so we got hit with a little bit of that, but we got it all sorted out this past week. And my little happy moment is I got to go have kind of like a girls' day, and I didn't realize how much I needed something like that until I got done with it, and I was just so happy. But I got to have a girls' day with these two really great girls that I met on Instagram because that's how I meet people these days. And it was so much fun. We just got food, ice cream. We went on a Ferris wheel and we took some really cute photos, and we saw a castle, and then, yeah, just talked and got to know each other more. And it was just really nice. And it's something that I haven't done in a little while. So it was really, really nice to be able to have like girl time.
Right. If you don't follow us on Instagram, you should, because we both post a lot on our Instagram stories. And that castle looks so beautiful. I wanted to like reply to everything you were posting because it just was so pretty and nice. But I'm glad you finally had some like friend time. Is this your first major time like hanging out with people in Germany, like for an extended period of time?
Um, no, so I've made a few friends here,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of them being from Germany, and so I've hung out with them um for like an extended period of time before, but for
Mm-hmm.
these two girls, they they're military spouses as well. So this was like getting to hang out with them as well. Just like doing things where we were like walking around and just like talking, and I felt like I was talking so much. I always like end up leaving situations like that thinking like, "Oh my God, what did I say?" What did I even say? But no, this was just because we had experienced a lot of rain, the flooding, really bad, not good weather. So hanging out with people just like wasn't going to happen. I hung out with a couple of girls a while ago, and it rained on us while we were walking to go to our place to eat. So it was just like this was beautiful weather all day, great company, great food, just all around a great experience.
That's really nice. Me and my friend Vinny, after we had lunch with his sister, he came over and we just had like quality friendship time where it was just us and it was really nice. And then I feel like we accomplished so many things. On my Instagram story, I was documenting the removal of my septum piercing jewelry.
I saw.
That was like the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. So if you don't know, don't screw your piercing balls onto the wires too tightly, or else you can basically merge the piercing together and be unable to take it off, which is exactly what happened to me. He could not take it off. We were both trying for over an hour, and then finally we cut it off with freaking bolt cutters. I was so scared I was gonna like accidentally cut my nose off, but I survived. But
I could not
yeah,
imagine.
I can't. It was so scary.
Yeah, like who would have known that like it was just going to mold together? I would not have known.
I, it was insane. But in other news, we are actually going to be doing our first giveaway. So for more details on that, you'll have to stay tuned for later. But so regarding friendships, do you mind like being alone sometimes, or do you always like try to invite friends to things?
Okay, so I think in the beginning, like when I say the beginning, I'm referring to when I was like a teenager.
Right.
I could not stand the thought of like doing things by myself. Like I had to be with somebody or I had to be doing something with somebody or I just like wouldn't go do things. And I am happy to say that that is no longer the case. I have learned that I enjoy doing the things that bring me like so much happiness, like my own hobbies. I love doing that by myself. I don't mind doing it with friends, but I am so, so content doing it by myself too. Like going thrifting or going, to just like look at plants or just like walking around and not really having an idea of what I want to do and just kind of popping in wherever I feel like I want to because I'm not feeling like I'm burdening anybody or holding anybody up, you know?
Yeah, you're able to do what your basically your favorite hobby without having to worry if you're taking too long, if they're losing interest. I have
Yeah.
just started getting into doing things by myself. I'm not gonna lie, like I was so dependent on people being around me at all times. Like if I really wanted to go to a restaurant and my friends didn't, I guess I just didn't get to go. But lately I've been taking time. Like this is a big step for me because I don't know why. Maybe it's just like some form of anxiety. I've just had like a fear of being alone. Like, like being a woman as well. Like when you're alone, you do get approached a lot more, but I've just had to basically stay more vigilant and aware of my surroundings.
Hmm.
And it sucks that we have to do that, but I don't want to like I've been living in a lot of fear that something's gonna happen. So instead, I'm just like, I guess I'll stay home. But like, that has been
Yeah.
making me so miserable. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got a freaking tile tracker on me. I got Find My Friends on. I got like an alarm. I got pepper spray.
I think you were actually the one that told me about the little tile tracker because I
Hmm.
was telling you how I wanted to go running by myself, but I'm terrified of doing it because I'm going to have headphones on and
Hmm.
everything like that, and I don't want to get kidnapped. So you told me about the little tile tracker. I was like, oh my God, I could totally put that in my shoe and nobody would know.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
admittedly, I do still need to set it up, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I just get like these random bursts of energy where I'm like, let me do every single task that I have been putting off for months. I finally did that a couple of like yesterday with my extreme cleaning, but I get around to it. But like, what's so nice about being alone is like, I feel like it's like a form of self care almost. I have been like,
Yeah.
I took myself to go see a movie that all of my friends are like, that looks dumb. But you know what? It was not dumb. And I was basically like vibing with everyone in the movie theater because it was such a
Right.
small theater that like the other girls that were there were basically my friends. And then it was cool not to have to accommodate to anyone. But that's not
Yeah.
to say that I don't like to do things with friends too.
Yeah. And something with like the way things are here in Germany, I don't know if it's like you would say like the culture here, but you see a lot of people out and about, and a lot of people are like sitting at cafes alone, just having coffee and just like enjoying their time or having a drink or having ice cream in my city center, like right by the river.
Man, I so badly just want to sit at a cafe and be cute and alone. And I can can we get this coronavirus shit together already so I can live my aesthetic dreams? But sorry, go on.
I know, no, I know. And I had a moment of like, I'm going to be the main character today. I have a whole little day planned for myself. And I walked down to my city center and I went to a plant store and then I went into a store that like I, I wanted to go into. And then I went and got ice cream and I went and sat at the steps in front of the river and I just ate ice cream and I just felt like, wow, this is really nice.
I'm so jealous of you. Oh my gosh.
No, but then I like think and I'm like every time I do certain things, all I can think about is I wish my friends were here to experience it with me
Oh.
because yeah, like I just know we would have the best time. Like yes, that was a great time for myself, but
Mhm.
I think because I've been away for a while, it's been a little over a year. Anything that I do that like brings me happiness, I just want like I want my friends to be here too and
Yeah.
experience it too. Like it would just make it 100 times better, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's totally understandable given like your situation. As far as for me, even just this past weekend, I was like, bro, I'm having some friend overload. My roommates were gone to California for the weekend. And I don't know, everyone and their mother wanted to hang out with me. And I was like, oh my God, my social battery is depleted. I don't want to see nobody. But I got to finish out like the next few weeks with all the plans I made when I was feeling extroverted. So I hate canceling on people because I hate being canceled on. So I'm like, I got to push
Yeah.
through. But like, I'm just no longer going to stop doing things because other people don't want to do them. And yes, I do
Yeah.
wish that they would like be there with me, but you that's when you develop new communities with other people.
Yeah,
And
exactly. I was thinking about that too because like I was saying in our little happy hour moment, when
mhm.
you're meeting like new people, like the best way, like what is like your best way that you would prefer to meet new people?
With new people, honestly, I know this sounds kind of funny, but I have basically become new friends with people that we went to high school with that I just like never interacted with, primarily through you and just like friends of friends, like people
Yeah.
that like never even really talked to me. Like ever since like they started seeing that you and I associate together, I feel like they talk to me more. I think that like you kind of like vetted me in a way.
Oh my
So
God.
I know it's like all through social media and Instagram. I've made so many like close friendships because of Instagram actually. I
Hmm.
um but another big tip I have is to like I know Facebook is kind of like dead in a way. Like people kind of think of it as like an older person, millennial sort of like application, but I actually joined Facebook groups and
Hmm.
on these Facebook groups it's a lot of the times what happens is you join, at least with me, I joined in a huge Facebook group that was like about makeup, and then that Facebook group broke off into maybe like 2,000 people, and then all of the active members from that group, so like myself and like 200 other people, made another group. And then what I ended up doing was asking who here lives in Arizona. And I've met up with like 10 different people from this group. And some of them I actually talked to. Like, I talked to like 5 girls I met online from this group almost every single day.
Yeah. Okay. I relate so much to the Facebook groups because having to move over here, it is like impossible with Rain as my husband. You think he's just like out here like, oh, this is my wife. You got a wife? This is my wife. No, the man is introverted completely. And so I had to take matters into my own hands, and I joined a Facebook group for our base. And anytime I would like see someone post on there, I'd be like, oh, do I like the vibe? Like, who is this? And then I would find them on Instagram. And then that's kind of how I started finding the friends that I have now. And one of the friends I found during like my time when I was newly diagnosed with MS, and I had found her page on like my explore page on Instagram. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling her this yesterday. I was like, I saw that and it brought me so much happiness. Like, it just gave me so much serotonin because her Instagram is just so pretty. And I was like, oh, that's an instant follow right there. And then I find out that she's from Arizona. And then I find
Oh,
out
how
that,
cool.
I know, isn't it crazy? It's just like such a small world. And I find out that two other girls are from Arizona that I like got to meet and everything. And it's just, we were all so close. And then we never knew it until we got to a completely different country. And I'm like, I just think that I don't know. I don't think it's coincidental. I like to think that everything is like fate.
Right. And so Facebook groups are a really good thing, but if you want to meet people in person, what I recommend is the more often you visit a place, the more recognizable you are. And so whenever I go to the nail salon, I only ever go for like pedicures, and you're sitting there for a hot minute, like just letting your feet soak and stuff. And then I always end up talking to the girls that are next to me, or it like something just happens where it just sparks a conversation. I really wish that I had like gotten this girl's number or Instagram or something, because I thought she was just vibes. But this girl was like complimenting my purse, and I was like, hey, can you give me like, can you tell me what color is gonna look better? Or like which one is more pink, or like which one's more neon, like stuff like that. And then just like talk, like you make friendly banter with people around you in person. I feel like so everyone's like expecting to like, I mean, obviously don't like butt into people's business too much if you feel like it's going to be disrespectful, but just
Hmm.
talk to the people around you. My roommates actually, so they went to Disneyland, and they actually ended up becoming friends with some girls that coincidentally also happened to be from Arizona. And they like spent almost their entire Disney trip with some random girls that they met in line, because they just like, I guess, made a joke, and then they just started vibing. And yeah, it was like super fun. They like took pictures together and everything, like as if they were like besties and knew each other forever. So you just never know. Just like
Right.
spark up a conversation with a random, and maybe something will happen out of it. Like, just pick
Yeah.
up whatever vibe they're laying down, and then you can choose to engage or not.
Yeah. I mean, if I was in line and I met Tim and Thomas, I would want to spend like the time in Disneyland. I see the way that you guys do Disneyland. I would 100% want to spend like the rest of the day with them. Um,
Yeah.
when you were talking about like how you'll like sit at the nail salon and then just like start a conversation like that, it's so funny because it just reminded me when I go to like any like well, not any establishment, but when I go into like certain places, I will always get like random people just coming up and then just starting a conversation, and then we're just talking. And I just remembered I looked it up. I have a contact in my phone, and this is probably from like 2016, and the contact name is Katie Home Goods, because this girl was talking to me about home decor at Home Goods, and we just started talking about her style and everything. And she's like, oh my gosh, can I get your number? And we exchanged numbers, and I have her in here as Katie Home Goods.
How
I don't know.
funny.
I know. I don't think we ever like ended up chatting after that, but I just thought that was so funny. I also have um a like Axel T-Mobile. So the guy that was upgrading my phone for me
Mm-hmm.
we ended up like talking about relationships and everything. And
Oh
then
my
he was
gosh, how
like,
funny.
I know. He was like, I would love to go to lunch. And we went to lunch and we just like talked about relationships. And I was just like, the most random things. Like it just like can bring the most surprising friendships and you don't even know. Um, I think what I prefer with meeting new people is definitely being in a more public setting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just in the beginning, just because I have like my own nerves and I'm obviously like overthinking in myself, but
Hmm.
I just like I prefer the more public setting just to kind of get to know somebody first.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I was gonna say you should definitely go to if you're looking to make friends, you should go to the things you're actually invited to. Like, don't just
Hmm.
back out last minute. Especially like barbecues, weddings. Go to weddings. I guarantee you, you're gonna make friends. So me, my roommates, and then my other best friend Vinny, we all went to our friend Lexi's wedding, and oh my god, that was a freaking rager. It was so fun. We were getting drunk off of the the open bar that they had, and we just like kept seeing this. So me and Vinny kept seeing this girl like look at us, and we were like, we don't know her, but we think like she's from like the groom's side, and we only knew the bride's side. And then she
Hmm.
came up to us and was, you know how drunk people are. They just like kumbaya. They're all about you, and like was just telling us how gorgeous we are and how much she liked our style. And we had
Oh,
like the best time. Like I just look back on the night so fondly, but it was so fun.
right,
And it's just like any people that you see in person and you vibe with them, get their Instagram. I don't know anyone that like texts us anymore, actually. Like, I
right.
mean, you could do the number thing, but I just always feel more comfortable seeing people's Instagrams because I'm like, then I can pick up your vibe. I can see what memes you share. I can see your
Yes.
stories. So in person, if you like them, just be like, "Hey, what's your Instagram?" And then from there, you'll be able to hang out and make up plans.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, when I got here, I just went straight to Instagram on following people because then I'll see their stories and then I can just like get my way in there, like, oh my God, this is so cute. And now we're conversating. Now we're having
Mm-hmm.
a conversation and things like that. I definitely um I can say that like Instagram has been my biggest way to like meet new people before. I think I met people through mutual friends, because my friends, pretty much all of my friends went to ASU. Um, and so they would always have like parties there or hangouts there. And I would go and then I just became friends with my friends' friends. You know what I mean? Like that. And then it was just pretty natural that way. Or I made friends at work. But here, I didn't have a job. I'm barely about to have a job. Like, I am at home all the time. It is not that easy.
I feel like once you start your job, it'll get easier. But it's so crazy to me to think that there's people that like don't have friends. Like they don't have a community of friends. Like I feel like I
Mhm.
have a surplus. Like my boyfriend, he doesn't really hang out that many people, but this is like his choice. He's kind of like Rain. Like he's
Mhm.
more introverted in like the sense that he likes his personal space and time.
Mhm.
And he has made the joke where he's like, "So, which friend am I going to meet this week?" And I'm like, I still got a full itinerary. I'll let you know.
Right.
But so my youngest brother, he doesn't like hang out with people the way that I do. And I'm like, that is so odd to me. I'm like, who's your best friend? I can't even tell you. Like, I can tell you who like my other brother's friends are, but like my youngest brother, he just like is kind of a floater, and that's so like odd to me to
Mhm.
like. I feel so bad for like adults that don't have a best friend or like they only hang out with their spouse or something. Like that to me is so sad. Like I mean, I guess if they're happy, but like
Yeah.
listen to our advice, join some Facebook groups and go to the nail salon, go to the coffee shops. But so with the friends you have now, how did they turn into like best friends? Like what took them to like the next level with you?
So, yeah, just to kind of get into it, I kind of see my sisters as like my first best friends.
Oh.
So, yeah, and like with what you were saying is, I think like my sister, in like the sense my sisters are so lucky because they've met like, I think my sisters have had to learn a lot the hard way with friendships and how people can also take advantage. And they're the type of people that will put all of themselves into a friendship or into a relationship. And they just kind of haven't had the best luck. But I was talking to my sister the other day about how lucky she actually is because one, she has me as a big sister, as her best friend. Um, no, but then she also has my cousin who they're like the exact same age, exact same personality type. Like they're always with each other. And I'm like, I would love, I would love that. I would love to have like their friendship that they have. Like the fact that they were like friends basically is
Oh,
so, yeah,
that's so
it's just like,
cute.
yeah, I'm like, you guys are forever. It doesn't matter. You guys are forever. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, like elevating a friend to a best friend when it comes to my friend group is just like getting into the real nitty gritty, like the real shit, like having those moments of vulnerable like conversations that you don't really talk about. And it wasn't like an easy thing for me to bring up because I unfortunately had to deal with a lot of like sticky and not fun situations at a pretty young age. And I kind of came to confiding to like my best friends about it. And I think I was 14 at the time, and that was already a really hard thing to do. But I think I was just really overwhelmed with everything. And it was when I had first gotten kicked out of my mom's house and was living with my grandma for my first year of high school. And I had to like talk about it because I wasn't talking about it. And they were super supportive and, they let me talk about it. They talked with me. They let me know that they were there for me, and it just made me feel seen. It made me feel understood. And now, like with the friend groups that I do have, I feel like I can kind of see where I can trust people with the things that I talk about, and I know like with the friends that I have, what we talk about is what we talk about, and that's kind of what it is. And I've never felt like unsafe, being able to tell them about what's going on, and just as if they were to like, disclose things to me, like that would stay with me. And I think that's like a really big part of a friendship going to like that next level.
Right. Your friend group just seems so like trustworthy. I can tell they love you and they like are such a good support system for you too.
Hmm.
Um, I actually posted that question on my Instagram story, and some of the replies were pretty similar. Most of the people were saying that like stuff like being comfortable to share personal things, um, and then giving honest feedback instead of just telling me what I want to hear. When you know you can go to them for support, especially when you need it. But someone said someone who matches my energy, who matches equally the same energy and effort that I put into the friendship, which is like the number one thing for me. I really appreciate people who like I mean not everyone can like match I guess like the same things that I do, but I always appreciate like the effort to show that they care.
Hmm.
Um with my friends, like I don't expect them like I kind of categorize them in different ways. Like there's a friend I can go to that like knows the most like intimate details of my life, and I felt comfortable going with them because they were vulnerable with me, and
Hmm.
they just let me know that that was like a safe space, and that's just like me choosing to like not go into like my trauma too much with other people, like things that are more like super sensitive to me. And then I have a friend that's just like ready for jokes and is like able to like hype me up, and like that's like the
Right.
person I can go to where I'm like, yep, that's what I need. And then I have like my friend that's always like we have a lot of the same like hobbies and stuff, and then we're ready to go out. And then I have my friend that I can not see for 6 months and then pick up like back to normal. Like
Yes.
they're all just like they're different, but they match the energy that I need. So like I love them all equally.
Yeah.
But we know what we need from each other. So that energy is just like so appreciated to me.
Yeah, I feel like our friend group dynamics are very similar because I see that in my friend groups too. I say friend groups because I think I have about think I have like three. I have like my work. I got my like my old work besties. I've got like my like OG like grade school besties, and then I've got like my like met in high school besties too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And um, I just see like that those similar dynamics. Like I have my friend that we won't talk for a while, but as soon as we do talk, like it's like we just pick up where we left off, and it's so natural. And I've got my friend where when I know like they're gonna like they like bring the happiness, they bring like the comedy, like they, you know what I mean, they come ready with like that
Right.
great energy. And then I got a friend that knows like all the best places to go eat, all the best places to go shop, like all the best places. Okay.
I feel like I followed them on Instagram recently.
You too. You too.
Yeah, like my friend groups, I categorize them as my girl group plus my girl group's partner. And then I have my all of my online friends, so I have that whole little community. And please take this in the most like it's just funny. I call it my gay group. So I'm friends with a lot of guys, and they're all gay. So I like when I talk about them, I'm like they're my gays. They're my gay group. But like people are so surprised I'm friends with so many guys. Do you think that like a woman can have like a guy best friend? Well, I know you. I know you know, but
I know. No, I know. Yes. Yes, 24-year-old me, like adult Morgan, yes. High school, like melodramatic Morgan, no. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because my mom would put, the minute I got a boyfriend, my mom was like, just so you know, guys and girls can't be friends. There's one or the other is always gonna want something. Guys and girls can't be friends. So I'm over here thinking like tunnel vision, guys and girls can't be friends. What is going on?
toxic.
Yeah, it wasn't until like I started thinking for myself that I was like, yeah, I mean, I know my partner, I know me. I think it just like when it comes to like the friend, like the on the receiving end, I've been in situations where I thought it was just like we're friends, and then gotten put in a sticky situation and kind of had to set the record straight. Um, but for me, I know I can be friends with, you know, a guy, and it can be completely platonic. My only, you know, guy friend, it is completely platonic.
I completely agree that you can have guy best friends. I feel like women should have like guy best friends, but here's the thing. I don't think I feel like it's more on like the men's side where they don't know how to have female friends that are purely platonic. Um if I mean, I wish that they could just be neutral in the sense that like everyone's just like a human and let's just be friends based on like personality and stuff, but at least for me, I kind of gravitate people that are queer because I'm bisexual, pansexual myself, and I can always kind of pinpoint who else in the room is queer or something. And I know they'll be able to match my energy, and I know that they have like the emotional intelligence to see me as just a friend. So that's why I have so many guy friends, but like the straight guys, oh my goodness, it's so difficult because a lot of straight men are taught to kind of see women as like objects and stuff. And I was on Twitter, and one of my guy friends I've really enjoyed talking to and had like a funny banter with online was tweeting saying, if you have a boyfriend, take me off your close friends list on Instagram. And I replied to it being funny, and I was like, oh, so I have to take you off now? And he was like, yeah, if something changes, you could put me back on. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, bro, like, I followed you for the memes and the laughs. Like, you've never even been an option to me. What do you, like, what does this even mean? I'm like, what is this mindset? I do not like this. But I posted an Instagram poll asking this question as well. And 42 people said, yes, you can have, like, guy friends. And then only 2 people said no. And I thought that was interesting, but most of my audience is, like, queer people. So I don't know. I feel like it's mostly like on the guys that just need to take out like the romantic part. Like I mean, it's okay if you don't like as a guy if you don't want to have like if like a girl friend zones you. I get that you don't need to like keep them in like your life and stuff, but like don't pretend to be their friend and then get mad when they like reject your advances or like if they if like they're clear about only wanting you as a friend, don't say some dumb shit like oh you're trash, you're this because you don't want to date me, stuff like that. I freaking hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Um but I feel like if anything it's more like the I mean, I'm sure there's women out there who overstep those boundaries too, but it's hard. It takes two, and I feel like as soon as people are just like emotionally intelligent and can see people from like what they really are, then it's fine.
Yeah. No, yeah. I've been bombarded a couple times with those things, and I'm just like, why? Why'd you have to like we've been friends for so long? Why'd you have to like do something like that? Or like I was in a relationship with Rain when we first started dating, and like this was when I had like guy friends from my old job, and then next thing you know, one of them's like saying some stuff, and I'm just like, why? Like, you know, I'm in a relationship. Like, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense why you would do that. You've just put me in such an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, and then it's up to you to like basically like have to tell them no nicely, and it's like why do we have to do that?
Yeah.
Why do you have to make it weird in the first place? But on the other end, so me and my partner have kind of talked about this where right now I'm not really in the market. Well, I mean, at least when I was single and I was on like dating apps and stuff, and guys are like, I just want to be friends. I'm like, I know what type of friend you want to be, and I'm not really interested. And then I was telling my partner that, and they were saying that like when they've gotten like dates with girls, and if like the vibe is right and they don't see him as like a romantic interest, he has decided himself I'm not going to pursue a friendship with this person because that's not what I wanted. That's not what I went in wanting. And I feel like that's a mature way to handle things. Like you made your intentions clear, the girl made their intentions clear, and then go from there.
Yeah. I like to be this could be a little toxic trait, but sometimes like it's just because I kind of think I don't know if Rain likes like when I get like a little like, oh, well, who's that kind of a thing. But he'll be talking to me about something, and like he'll be saying, oh yeah, and then this person, and it'll be like a girl's name, and I'm like, oh, what is that? What does she look like? Just like joking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I like doing it because I could tell that I feel like it
He
makes him
gets
feel a little bit
flustered.
better. Yeah.
Oh.
No, I think it makes him feel a little bit better. I think he likes a little like when I'm like, oh, who is that? Like the little like in quotations jealousy type of thing. I'm like me and Rain have gotten so comfortable in our relationship that it's just kind of like we don't have those like feelings of jealousy, I guess.
Hmm.
So I like to, in certain situations, I like to just be like, oh, Ashley, who's that?
Oh my
What does she look
goodness.
like? Is she blonde?
How funny. My boyfriend, he has so many female friends, and it kind of like took me back, like, it kind of took me by surprise because, I mean, I haven't, my previous boyfriends didn't really have like female friends. They had like one close guy friend, and I saw that he had like all of these lady friends, and I was just like, wait a minute. Isn't this hypocritical of me if I feel some sort of jealousy when all I hang out with is men? Like,
Right.
how can I be over here basically having like a platonic sausage fest and then get upset that his best friend since middle school has been a girl? Like
Right.
that doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, it is
Yeah.
what it is. Over the years, how have you maintained your friendships?
Well, they're just kind of stuck with me at this point. No,
They've been around for
no,
so long, they're embedded into your life.
yeah, you don't just get rid of me. No, but, um, my, like, friendships stemmed from grade school and high school, and, a lot of it was just, like, it began with, like, having the same friend group, and always, just hanging out whenever we could after school and things like that, extracurriculars. But past school, it is work. Like you do want to continue to make time with each other when you have it. And we did that. We like made the time to still see each other, on all ends, because we were kind of all over. One of my friends went to the downtown school for ASU, and then one of my friends went to Tempe, and then, me and my other friend went to a community college over in like the Maricopa area still. So we were kind of all over, but just still making time, to see each other. And we now, because I'm so freaking far away, we use WhatsApp. We're on there a lot. FaceTime. And oh my God, I even have like one of my best friends literally lives in Korea, so that's like an additional, well, it used to be 16-hour time difference when I was in Arizona. I don't know what it is now, but we still make time to FaceTime, and just like talk to each other until like I can see her like blinking like so aggressively. I'm like, girl, go to bed. I'll talk to you another time.
But you guys all put in the effort, and that's how you maintain a friendship. It is so, I've definitely struggled with maintaining some friendships. I'm very, very lucky to have the friends that I do, but I have had several friendships just like fizzle out because I'm putting in the effort and the other person is not. And it's just like, it's so discouraging and sad when like you can actively see the other person not giving a shit, canceling, reading your messages and not replying, stuff like that. I had a friend who was like my bestie in high school, and like I just loved her so much. And it was like after we graduated, she just was in a totally different place in life. I don't know if she was like going to school or like really what she was doing at all. Like it was like because we didn't live within 5 minutes of walking to each other's houses anymore, it was just suddenly too much work. And then she wasn't putting any effort into like, I don't know, getting a license, driving out to see me, or inviting me over and anything like that. And, I kept trying all throughout the years. Anytime she would invite me to something, I would go. And I thought by like, me leading by example and showing I do care for her by showing up to her events, that she would offer me the same sort of effort back. And then everything I invited her to, didn't reply, didn't show up, would RSVP, and then just not say anything. And finally I had enough of it. And I told her, I was like, this is so hurtful. Like, you send me all of these messages, like telling me how much you love and miss me. The extent of our friendship right now is a few Instagram likes and like comments to each other. And I don't have the energy to keep entertaining that anymore. I was trying so hard to hang on to this friendship because she meant so much to me. And finally I like went off on her in a very polite, respectful way. And I told her, I'm like, the ball is in your court to fix this. And she acknowledged it and she apologized. We stayed following each other. And then recently she unfollowed me on Instagram. And that was basically like the last commonality that we had. And then when she unfollowed me, I was like, oh, so this is you, like, you're cutting the thread of the last thing we had together. And I'm like, I'm no longer like that. I'm just using that as an example from now on. Like, if I have any more of those, done. I just don't care anymore. I have so many amazing friendships now. I could be pouring that energy from what I was giving these like kind of baby friends, like the lukewarm friends that were just there. I can stop that and invest them into my friends I have now. I saw this quote recently that was like, the only thing that grows is what you water. And like that's what I'm doing with my friendships now. And I really feel like everyone in my life, I feel like they love me and like everything's like very genuine. And I think you have that too. So we're both very lucky.
Yeah. And like, I think we're both people that when we love really hard.
Yes. I've said that to so many people. I'm like, I just have a lot of love to give. And when I love, I love you. If I see something that makes me think of you, I'm gonna get it for you. If I see something that I think you would like, I'm gonna make it for you, and like so on.
Yeah, like I spent the first like half of being in Germany crying. Not to be not to be dramatic, but crying because I miss my friends and obviously my family, but like I miss them so much. And I'm also a person that like I do have FOMO, which is fear of missing out. So like I,
Same.
yeah, like I enjoy being around my friends. I enjoy it so much. They're genuine, wholesome people that like I could die tomorrow and be completely content with the friends that I've made. But I also like, I understand that, as we get older, our lives only get more and more complex and things happen. But I mean, hearing your situation though, you start to see like when is it life's getting complex or is it just like you don't want this friendship? Because if that's what it is, like at least be upfront, like you can't maintain this friendship. And sometimes that's just what it is. Sometimes people have like different expectations, and
Hmm.
I've noticed that some people when they are constantly on like the receiving end and are receiving all of like this like attention from their friends and like the effort, they're not
Hmm.
really paying attention to like what they're giving.
Right. And then another factor is we're all getting older. People are changing like every single day.
Mhm.
And, I've reconnected with some friends that I haven't maybe like actually hung out and had a face to face conversation with in years. And I'm like, this isn't the same. We don't have the same
Right.
connection. Or, which this has been happening a lot. I'm like, oh, I like you, like, or I like who you've become. So, I mean, people, you can grow in and out of friendships. So that's something to keep in
Mhm.
mind too. Like, you just have to match each other's energy and go from there.
Yeah, and I definitely had some friendships that were a lot closer when I was in school
Mm-hmm.
that, aren't nearly as close as it was, but, I still root for those people. Um, I see them on social media. A lot of them have started families or have made like really big career changes or things like that. And I just like, I know we're not as close, but I'm still here and I'm rooting for you. And like those same people have also, shown their support for me when I was going through, what I was going through with MS. And
Mm-hmm.
it's, I don't know, it's just like you said, sometimes people like change and just like life gets complex. Some friendships kind of fizzle out. It doesn't have to be like in a negative way. It's just sometimes we go separate ways or in separate directions. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why social media can be so awesome. Um, when it's not like constantly like you comparing to everything, but being able to keep
Right.
in touch with people and still like being able to show support and show like little things of friendships, regardless of like how close you are with that person.
Right. And so social media is like such a blessing, but also like can be so negative at times. For
Yeah.
me, I definitely have to work on stop taking things so damn personally.
Hmm.
I have actually always had an application on my phone that connects to my Instagram that lets me see who follows and unfollows me. And
Ooh.
don't do it. Don't do it. It's a trap. It is so sad when like someone you thought you were cool with unfollows you. And you know what? I've actually, I got no shame for the most part. Someone unfollowed me and I was like, did you mean to do this? Because we were just talking 2 days ago, girl. Like, what are you
Right.
doing? And they were like, it was actually totally an accident. And I'm like, great. Glad we sorted this out. I'm like, I hope you didn't like decide overnight that you don't like me, but I have to work on not taking things so freaking personally. Like, if people are meant to be in your life, they will be. And,
Hmm.
um, I feel like, going back into like we grow into like who we are, I feel like we became friends at like the right time.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
in our lives, like who knows like what we would have like the interactions we would have had if like 14-year-old Lexus, 14-year-old Morgan started like talking, like, I mean, maybe we would have bonded over like the mom stuff, but that's like more vulnerable things. But I don't know, like, I feel like right in the stage we are right now, we have so much to talk about and so much more in common than we could have back then.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like, not even gonna lie, Alexis, you intimidated me in high school. Are you kidding me? Like, you pulled off every single hair color. Like, you knew how to do your makeup. I'm over here. I'm like, who am I? You know, I'm not. What? I could never.
I wouldn't say that like I was like intimidated or anything by you, because you just have like you have like a more like a radiant personality that I like so badly, or maybe you just like emulated stuff that I didn't think I could match. So in turn I was like, you know, we'll never be friends. She's just like so bubbly, and like I'm not. I'm this emo little kid.
No,
and
look at us now. Look at us now.
Yeah, but I'm glad that the things have worked out the way that they have. The friendships I have now have like made me a better person.
I agree 100%. And like, these are people that I know that like I know, and nobody better switch up, because this is now on record, but I know I'm gonna grow old with, so nobody better switch up.
Yeah, they're for lifers right now. And like I had one like friendship breakup, and you know, this was with my friend Vinny. We got back together. We're doing better than ever, and it just shows that like sometimes you need to part ways and do a little bit of self-growth.
Yep.
To ground the relationship and pull it back in. And I'm so glad that we both took our time to do that, because like he's just someone I like can't even imagine not having in my life now. So if you're listening, we're for lifers. I love you. And
I think it's safe to say that we're really happy with the friendships that we've made. And, you know, I think we've learned a lot with how we make new friendships in our lives, you know, like the new friendships that are going to be coming in. We kind of know what we're wanting in a friendship, and we're kind of knowing like how we can be better in friendships too. So I think we're just only getting more mature.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm the first to admit I haven't always been like the greatest person ever, but just with age and experience and finding the right people, I can confidently say like I feel like I've found like the right way to comfort people and like how to hang out with them, and just, you know, just a whole bunch of trial and error. But just don't lower your standards and have what I was saying earlier, like lukewarm relationships.
Yes, I just thought about this. I remember I was justifying a lot of like the relationships or friendships that I no longer have by saying, well, yes, this person is mean to me or is rude to me, but she's nice sometimes. Like, I would justify like that behavior by thinking like, well, she was nice this one time. Like, she didn't call me like a bitch or something this one time. And I've literally have I've moved in with these people. You know what I mean? Like, held on to these friendships and kind of allowed myself to think that I was the crazy one. And that it wasn't that serious. But when you let go of that, like it feels so good to not have drama in my friend groups. It feels like it's like kind of weird. And in the beginning, it was a little unsettling, but it's like to just not have the drama and just have genuine friendships. It just feels so good.
It does. And I've had the same thing where it's amazing that once you pluck out that like bad egg from the group or like from your life, how much more calm everything is. And it's kind of like you said, like unsettling to think like there's no more chaos. Like I'm not constantly being like self-conscious of how I look and how I act in front of this friend. And if you feel that way, you need to end those friendships, honey.
Right. They're not doing anything for you.
Yeah, but hopefully y'all learn how to make some new friends and like, you know, elevate the friendships you do have. But I think that's all the time we have for today. If you didn't relate this time, hopefully it was at least entertaining. But we wanted to talk a little bit more about the giveaway that we're doing.
Mhm.
So, if you remember a previous episode, I was talking about how how I was like journaling and like was into manifestation. And by like taking some time to sit down and like write all the things I want in my life. And I got a new journal and I thought it was super cute. I posted about it and we were both thinking, what if we decided to give away a journal, some stickers of our logo, and some fine line pens you can do this yourself with. So that's what we're going to be giving away. Do you want to tell them how to enter?
Yeah, so the giveaway is going to be it'll be open until we reach, it's 100 followers. And
100
then,
followers, yeah.
yeah. And then how you can enter is go ahead and on our episode post that we'll have on Monday, you'll want to, I guess it'll be Monday when this is out.
Yeah.
You'll want to comment, and tag, 3 friends, and then you can share it to your story for an extra, entry, or you can go onto Apple Podcast and you can give us a review and then just take a little screenshot of it and send it to us for an added entry as well.
Mm-hmm. Also another way would be to subscribe to our YouTube channel, but we're probably going to
Yes.
have like maybe a second and third place with just some cute stickers and go from there. But go ahead and give us some feedback and let us know what you'd like to hear next. Follow us on our Instagram, Switching the Narrative, for updates, and then our own personal Instagrams too. Mine is Lexus Francisco. What's your Instagram name?
Mine is Morgan7737.
All right, your invoice will be sent to your email.
I think that concludes today's episode.
We'll see you next
Bye.
week. Bye.